Hello everyone and welcome back to my survival Minecraft series. In today's episode I'm going to start a war. There may be a few questions about how one does that in a single player survival world. The first step is to acquire some llamas, then harvest some wheat. Craft that wheat into hay bales. Feed the llamas to get some more of them. And once you have a few llamas bred up, you aggravate one of them so that they spit and anger the other one. And just like that, you have a war going on between all the llamas. Now that we have the general idea, let's blow it way out of proportion and ridiculously huge. No better place than to start at the industrial district where I can set up a wheat farm because my current old one got converted basically into carrots except for a few stragglers. The first step is to get rid of all of these disgusting carrots. Make sure the villager gets rid of all of his carrot stores. Instead of waiting on that guy, it'll be much faster to get one from the villager breeder and send him all the way down to the farm where he now has a new home. Come on, you know you want to take that farmer job. I mean, the other alternative isn't much better. This guy's being quite a bit stubborn, so let's just try to influence him a little bit more. There we go. Apparently he just needed a bed to feel a little tired. Let's lock this guy in as a farmer and give him all the seeds that we can so he plants wheat for us. Looks like this guy is taking to his job and planting away. He's even composting. Look at him go. Fix up the few worked up areas so they also are tilled. And I'll leave this guy to do his own thing while I lace the bottom of the farm with hoppers so that I can steal all his profits. Need a quick iron restash while I'm here at the farm so I can craft up more hoppers. Hey, would you look at that? I tried it. With the hoppers in place now, I'm going to help the old farmer plant the rest of his crops. Let's bone meal all these guys to give him a little head start. With the wheat bone mealed, let's go check and see how it's been producing. Well, looks like we got some wheat, but mostly seeds. That wheat farm is good and all and works passively, but I want something that goes a little bit faster, so I've come up with this idea of a farm. So it works on wheat, carrot, beetroot, and potato. So let's try it on the wheat. Flick the lever with our fortune pickaxe and hold both left and right click. And there we go. I'm going to do this for a little bit. I'll get right back with you. And from that short little AFK session I got only 14 bales. I'm going to need something a little bit faster than that. Instead of sorting that out, let's have our episodal axolotl race. First we need some tropical fish. And each of the new competitors can be selected at a completely random order. We've got the rare blue axolotl in lane 1, pink one in lane 2, white one in lane 3, brown one in lane 4, and the yellow in lane 5. Keep in mind that the first race a white one won and the second race a pink one. So for this race, I kind of want the yellow one to win this time. So put your guesses in the comments and let's see who wins. The gates are open, they're swimming down track. Brown's looks promising, and Brown takes the easy dub with no contesting or ties. It's actually rare to get a race where it isn't the tie. But anyway, here is this week's victor. And here they go in the Hall of Fame. While I'm over in this area, I may as well breed up the llamas so that we get the army building real fast. Let's procrastinate the wheat problem just a little bit longer and instead make the llama battle arena at the rabbit corral. And if you were wondering, there are a bunch of blast holes around here and this weird contraption right here. Well, the purpose of this area was to get a bunch of wither roses, so I bred up a bunch of mobs, fed them into this tube here, and spawned a wither to get rid of all of them and get all the wither roses I needed for the wither skeleton farm inside the nether for just this little itty bitty small area right here. And yeah, placing all these slabs was not the easiest since I had to spawn proof 128 sphere area around the spawning platform. I no longer need this wither rose spawn area anymore, so it can go. I got a little carried away with myself, and now we have the battle arena, kind of Viking themed with the wooden walls and the spikes on the top with a wheat field around it, so that while I'm breeding up the llamas, I can also be harvesting the wheat. So first thing, let's get the llamas here. And here we are. To start the growth of the army, let's start with harvesting the wheat. From harvesting the entire farm, I got all this wheat, which amounts to 2 stacks and 3. So not awful, but I would have liked a little bit more. I also got a ton of seeds from farming, so turn that into bone meal. Here you go, guys, let's get this army started. The first 2 llamas didn't want to breed, so I went out and found some more. Here they are at their new home, and let's see if it actually works. So I actually have it figured out now. You're supposed to tame them apparently. So now that they're all tamed, they should work perfectly. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not too impressed with the wheat production speed of the fields, so instead I'm going to head out and rob villages of their wheat. This is quite the unfortunate house. I don't think it has a good property value. I mean, is it really stealing if the iron golem isn't angry at me? So it turns out that going to villages is definitely the strat for getting wheat, because I got 5 full stacks and a little bit of the 6 stack in just about 20 minutes, and that's a lot more fun compared to going around and mowing down crops and replanting them. Found some llamas while I was out. The good thing about llamas is that they're probably one of the easiest mobs to transport. For one, they float, and if they get knocked off their lead, they just stand in a nice line for you to lead them back up. And here's all our new recruits. Oh my gosh, looks like we got a jacked llama over here. Look at all those hearts down there. Found some tan ones to work into the mix. I've sectioned the llamas out a little bit with varying health. So over here we have the beefiest of them with the 4 second row one, and then this guy with 3 hearts on the second row. So let's breed them up. Looks like this guy over here is trying to show us up. We can't have that. Just found a cool little feature about llamas. You can put a carpet on them, and the different carpets have cool little textures. So lots of vibrant different colors for the different colored carpets. I can really get behind this right here. The gray carpet looks nice. And then some other over here with the orange, the purple, green with the creeper head on top. Cool little decoration feature. I've made a little bit of a progress on the army. There's the ones over here that have kind of the lower health, not having the second row. Then this quadrant over here having a whole bunch spread up, along with over here and in the middle. So next time I check in, we should have a fully fledged army. Now I have them all bred up, but in the loading process into the battle pit, there formed a huge line of llamas just lining up one after the other. Very organized for once. Now come on guys, no more standing in lines, you gotta come up with me. Into the pit. You guys too. So that's most of the arena cleared out. Now I just need to move these guys into here. Okay guys, I promise it's nice and roomy. Got the last few stragglers, just gotta get them to go in there. So while I was breeding up the llamas, I found a few really OP ones, like this one right here has 14 hearts. This one right here, definitely the best one I've seen throughout this whole thing, having the max hearts possible, so he's definitely a keeper. And then having a gray and a white variant. And with these guys, I'm going to take them back to the zoo, so all 4 of the color variants are able to be seen at the zoo. And we also got a brown mushroom. And last to be put into the rink are 2 of my favorite llamas, being Larry and Luigi, mainly just because they have a ton of hearts and were semi-rare to acquire. So let's slide them on in there, just like this, and just like that, all the llamas are in the pen. Okay, so now the spectating balloon is set up, all the llamas are bred up. So with one little thwack, he gets angry at me for punching him, rightly so, but there's a slight misunderstanding amongst them, and it's the way. And it's picking up. They're going against. The sound is honestly a little crazy. And there they go. It's all out chaos. Everybody fight for themselves, not knowing why they're against each other. Looks like they're starting to drop off. And it's going down. Only the strong have survived, it looks like. A few little disputes here and there. And as the last few fight. And there you go. All it takes to start a war in Minecraft is to punch a llama and a misunderstanding to happen. So let's pick up all of these pieces of leather here to see how many llamas we actually had in the pen. So it appears that in total there were 201 pieces of leather. So at most there were 201 llamas, assuming they all dropped 1 leather. And based on the carpets that fell, there were 87 tamed llamas who also are noted as deaths. And the final count is that there's only 12 llamas that survived, and none of them were the ones I was rooting for. Only 2 were tamed, and 10 of them were untamed. Oh my, this guy right here was only at 2.5 hearts, so he was hanging on for dear life. While this guy over here was barely even part of the war. He took only half a heart of damage. Slacker, but also smart. I respect that. Another interesting statistic is that only one non-brown colored llama survived, and the war officially ended on day 4605, as can be seen down here. I slept through the night, so it's one day earlier. Preceding the days of the war, the Council of Llamas determined that the lime-colored llama was in charge of instigating the war, so as a just punishment, they condemned them to the llama pit. Following the llama trials, they all went on their separate ways. Louis and Lindsay are the guardians of the battle site to inform others of what has befallen here today. Lamar and Larry Jr. settled down in the humble village of Nahanburg. Lil and Lyle ran through the troubles of night. Lil sadly didn't make it to the trader camp, but Luau lived out the rest of his days doing trades with the trading villager. Lester and Lore settled down in the kingdom of Nahanshire, where they felt safe inside the walls after the terrors of war. Lart, Lamb, and Lux found themselves in the great kingdom of Nastrom, filled with endless possibilities. Lamb went to his roots and worked with the traders of Nastrom. Lark found a life of adventure on the cargo ships of Nastrom. And lastly, Lux, with his battle experience, serves as a guard to the mighty castle that houses the king of Nastrom, vowing to let no harm fall upon anyone ever again. Thank you all for joining me today. I really enjoyed putting a little bit of lore into my world by incorporating the llama war and scattering them across the different builds I've made. So I hope you all had fun, and I'll catch you all next time.